Hogwarts, a school of magic and wizardry from the books about Harry Potter. Which part of it is similar to a real school and which is not? Could a regular school kid just be transferred or admitted to it? What was special about studying there? What did they study and where was it at all? The School of Magic. Could a normal school student get to it, say on train, go through an interview with a committee and start studying? You're watching SMAPSE TV, the most international channel about education. Here we talk about studying and career opportunities abroad, about living in different countries, and about people and companies worth learning from. Hogwarts has its similarities and differences with real schools, especially with British boarding schools. Among the similarities are awesome architecture, a system of houses which gives a sense of identity, we'll talk about later. Of course, the eccentric teachers, the school uniform, traveling by train at the beginning of the year, and creation of strong friendships. Our students who have studied in Great Britain know that teaching methods there are not like in our country. You can watch students' reviews at our website SMAPSE.com and hear the real experience of their schools. But now, we're heading off to the world of Harry Potter. Hogwarts teaches magic and Quidditch and not your traditional academic subjects. It has magical creatures and spells which real schools don't have. These fantastical elements make Hogwarts unique and different from typical schools. Hogwarts is a school of witchcraft and wizardry that teaches wizards and witches. This made me want to ask you if you know any witches, maybe they want to use our services to get to this school? And so, admission to Hogwarts depends not on your academic abilities, but on your magic abilities. The books tell that Hogwarts automatically admits children who manifest magical abilities, regardless of their ancestry. Therefore, a regular school kid with no such abilities cannot go to Hogwarts. This school is exclusively for those who are born to a wizard's family or has a faculty for wizardry even if they were born to a family of muggles, non-magical people. Yeah, all of us, unless we possess some kind of magical powers, are muggles. In the Harry Potter universe created by J.K. Rowling, the term muggles designates people without magical abilities, meaning regular people who are not wizards or witches and aren't born with capacity to command magic powers. And in the book's context, muggles are not even aware of the magical world which exists in parallel to their normal reality. The magical society usually hides its existence from muggles to maintain peace and order between the worlds, which I as a muggle do not like. You probably know from my videos from British schools that boarding schools are popular in Great Britain. There are schools where kids live on constant basis. There are full boarding schools where all students have to live at, and semi-boarding schools where part of students come in the morning and leave in the evening and the other part stays. There are also formats that have students living at the school for, say, 5 days a week, but leaves for home on weekends. You heard me right. Here I call schoolchildren students because that's the norm in Great Britain. How did things work at Hogwarts? At Hogwarts, the house system plays a key role in organizing the school life. It has 4 houses. Which ones? Anybody read Harry Potter? Gryffindor, Slytherin, Puffindui, and Cocktavron. Yeah, that's from the Russian translation. The original names are a little bit different. Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. Well, that's not a bit. Quite different. Actually, those English names have significant meaning, and in real British boarding schools, a lot of the houses where students live are not simply called house number 1, house number 2, 3, but they have their own names, colors, symbols.
Круто! Это ж круто!
Ravenclaw. Look at the house's coat of arms. What does it portray? It's an eagle. Where's the logic in this? Oh, the logic is, the eagle symbolizes a wide scope, strong mind, connection to the elements of fire and air, and so it became the symbol of Ravenclaw. And the raven is an invariable character in different fairy tales, magical enchanted stories. Next house.
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor can be translated as Golden Eagle. The most watchful of you will say, there is no griffin on Gryffindor's coat of arms, Igor. Yes, it has not a griffin, but a lion. It's full of symbolism again. First, griffins are mythical beings with the body of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. Second, when is Harry Potter's birthday? July 31st. And J.K. Rowling's birthday? Also July 31st. And which zodiac sign is that? Leo, of course. Ta-da! There's your hidden meaning of their coat of arms. The next one is Hufflepuff. It most likely refers to the wind and elements of nature, and not being out of breath, I hope. And who's on the emblem? That is a badger. Why a badger? And what with that strange name? It's actually a really simple story. It was the first animal rescued by the founder of the house with her medical craft. And the founder's surname is Hufflepuff. And finally, Slytherin, with a snake on their coat of arms, the darkest of the houses. And what does it make you think of? Fear? Terror? Evil? Wrong. Snake is the symbol of wisdom. Just remember the Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling about Mowgli. One of Mowgli's mentor, the wise Kaa, a python, also symbolizes wisdom here. Also, speaking the language of snakes was a dark art among wizards. When it comes to the house's name, it's simply named after the founder, Salazar Slytherin. The coat of arms' green color represents material well-being, wealth, luxury, and affluence. Each house has its own character and values, and every student upon entering the school is distributed to one of these houses. Let's sum it up again. Gryffindor's traits are bravery, daring, and chivalry. The founder is Godric Gryffindor. The emblem is a lion, the colors are red and gold. Slytherin is known for students possessing cunning, ambition, and determination. The founder is Salazar Slytherin. The emblem is a snake and the colors are green and silver. Hufflepuff is known for loyalty, patience, fairness, and hard work. The founder is Helga Hufflepuff. The house's emblem is a badger and the color is yellow and black. And finally, Ravenclaw. Their valued qualities are intelligence, wisdom, wit, and learning. The founder is Rowena Ravenclaw. The house's emblem is an eagle and the colors are blue and bronze. By the way, if you're interested in breaking down coats of arms in general by their colors, symbols, etc., write a comment, we'll make a video on it. Upon entering Hogwarts, new students go through this sorting ceremony, during which the magical sorting hat determines which house is the most appropriate for them based on their qualities and preferences. Each house has its common room and dormitory in different wings of the castle. During the school year, students compete for the House Cup, earning or losing points based on their achievements or misconduct. And at the same time, in Great Britain, many boarding schools' houses also compete for different points. Now be honest, have you ever wanted to study in a school of magic? Maybe you've imagined yourself as a character in the Harry Potter books. Now also be honest, what do you think about the school uniform? If you're not in favor of it, you won't get along with Harry Potter. That was our smooth transition to the topic of the Hogwarts school uniform. Uniform is important in identifying students with different faculties. In all of them, it's mostly the same, but has different color accents and emblems designating each of Hogwarts' 4 houses. And what are the elements of the uniform? A long black hooded robe is the key part of the uniform. Scarves, worn by the students, usually have their faculty's colors, as you can see in every movie. Under the robe is a jacket or a sweater, also in faculty's colors. Every student wears their house's emblem on their robe. Distinguishing features of the uniforms and the houses help to nourish the spirit of competition and a sense of pride for their house within Hogwarts, although its main functions are unity and equality. Faculty's colors and emblems play an important role in creating each house's unique identity. All this defines British schools. The uniform is a key characteristic. Throughout my videos from British schools, I've talked about their uniforms many times and shown what kinds of them there are. So, if you're interested in studying abroad, be it in Great Britain or elsewhere, watch my videos. There is a lot of information about that. Break? I've swallowed a Yorkshire pudding, or what's called. By the way, what were they eating in Hogwarts? Who knows? I'm here to tell you about the cafeteria. By the way, check out this cool mug. David Game College. It's a school in London. I also have a video about it from London, link in the description. Subjects. What did you study in your school? Math, physics, chemistry, all the standard stuff. In Hogwarts, however, they study much more unique subjects related to the magical world. Let's review some of the subjects that they have there. The most famous one is probably potions. My grandmother studies it too. It is the art of creating mixtures with magical effects. The next is Defense against the Dark Arts. Transfiguration, the art of changing the properties of an object or turning one into another. Charms teaches incantations for the uses of bewitchment. Flying, also very important, this class teaches the use of broomsticks. History of magic teaches the history of the magical world. Herbology, study of magical plants and how to use them. Astronomy involves observations of the night skies with telescopes. Divination is the art of predicting the future with a variety of methods, like looking into some sort of crystal ball. Care of magical creatures, not much to explain here. It's the class which teaches how to take care of beasts such as griffins. These subjects give students knowledge and skills necessary to live in the wizarding world. Besides these core subjects, there are specialized ones offered in the final years. Here I want to bring to your attention that in a lot of British schools, there are certain common subjects that you can later drop and focus on those that you're better at. Also, in Great Britain they have the small groups, the so-called clubs of interests, which you can join and learn something additionally. Perhaps the most pertinent question now is, was there ever a real Hogwarts or its prototype? I'm gonna disappoint you here, but the answer is no. Hogwarts is a fictional school from the Harry Potter books, however, J.K. Rowling was inspired by real places and concepts. Particularly, the castle Hogwarts is inspired in part by the architecture of the Durham Cathedral in England. This reflects the author's tendency of sourcing inspiration from real things while creating her magical world. Hogwarts has no exact real counterpart since it combines magical elements with the features of British boarding schools. The school's detailed description, including its location in the Scottish mountains and special features such as moving stairways, enchanted portraits, and secret passages, are all J.K. Rowling's imagination with no real counterparts. Thereby, Hogwarts is fictional, although it contains elements inspired by real schools and architecture. So why did Rowling choose Scotland as the place for Hogwarts? Yes, not England, but Scotland. By the way, Harry Potter departs to his journey from King's Cross. It's a railway station in London with the platform 9 3/4. It is the famous platform only accessible to wizards, which the Hogwarts Express departs from, heading to Hogwarts. This platform actually is there at King's Cross in London. Well, there is a slight detail to it. You'll have to go through a wall. So, Harry Potter goes to Scotland and his train is magical. But what if you, say, want to actually get on train to Scotland's Edinburgh? How long would the ride take? About 5 hours. Along the way, you'll be passing various towns from south to north, York, Newcastle, and many other cities. And if you're going to have time to visit them, York and Newcastle are amazing. I spent many years in Great Britain and been through and through. I have videos from there in abundance, so if you're interested, I'll put links in the description. London, Edinburgh, York, Newcastle, Glasgow, and many others. I have a really cool video where I visit places in London where James Bond was filmed, also highly recommended. Let's get back to the topic. J.K. Rowling selected Scotland as a place for Hogwarts for several reasons. First, Rowling has a personal connection to Scotland. Her parents met on the train to Arbroath, a town in Scotland's northeast on the North Sea coast. It is also an important fishing port. Founded with the Arbroath Abbey in 1178 by Scottish King William the Lion. Do you reckon? Lion is another symbol. Look at the landscape. How can you not be inspired? Her mother was half Scottish and her great-grandfather is from the Isle of Arran. Rowling also spent significant time living in Edinburgh, which undoubtedly influenced her work a lot. And I consider Edinburgh one of the most beautiful cities in all of Great Britain. Mythical, mysterious, and misty, it seems all of its streets are filled with magic. Second, Scotland possesses amazing natural beauty and rich history. All this created a perfect background for the magical school of Hogwarts. Beautiful landscapes, Scotland's ancient castles have all inspired Rowling's magical atmosphere, a key ingredient of Harry Potter universe. And finally, Scotland's heritage of folklore and mythology also played an important role. Scotland's ancient traditions and mythical fairy tales added depth and authenticity to the magical world created by Rowling. Were they real schools or universities that became Hogwarts real locations? Of course. This time, I'll make you happy. You can even visit those places. Christchurch, Oxford. It is a part of the University of Oxford, which was chosen for a reason. It is the oldest university in Great Britain and one of the oldest in the world. Christchurch's incredible architecture served as a temple for Hogwarts cafeteria. You can visit it, and it's not a museum. You can have a real breakfast there. And which I did, as well as living in that building for a few days. I felt like a prince in a castle tower, thankfully not imprisoned, and I was able to leave. Also thankfully it has modern facilities and heating. Durham Cathedral was used for filming of several exterior and interior scenes in Hogwarts. Glenfinnan Viaduct in Scotland. Although not a school, it became famous thanks to scenes with Hogwarts Express. Alnwick Castle was where the Quidditch broomstick flying scenes were filmed. Laycock Abbey in Wiltshire is a historical monastery which also served as a filming set for several scenes, and the University of Glasgow also had several scenes shot in its old interiors. Has J.K. Rowling studied in a boarding school herself? Nope. She began at St. Michael's Church of England primary school in Winterbourne. Her secondary school was Wydene School. After school, she studied at the University of Exeter. There, she earned a BA in French and Classical Philology. She never studied in a boarding school as her book's characters have, but such schools certainly inspired her. If the places I've listed are not enough for you, where else do you go? There's a real Hogwarts museum, officially known as Warner Brothers Studio Tour in London, the making of Harry Potter. It's in Livesden, not far from Watford, England. This place lets visitors explore the Harry Potter world, including such famous locations as the Great Hall, the Forbidden Forest, Diagon Alley. It also has costumes and props used in the movies. The tour is usually 3 to 7 hours long, and tickets must be bought in advance. I sound like I'm selling them right now, but I don't. I don't receive any commission from this, but the place is popular and it can be easily sold out mid-season. The price around £50 for adults and 40 for kids. There are also £160 family tickets for 2 adults and 2 children. Tickets can be purchased online or at a ticket office on the day of a visit. Online tickets are usually cheaper and will allow you to skip standing in queue. I feel like my advertising made the museum sold out again. It's not exactly real. Warner Bros. Have recreated the locations in a Disneyland fashion, except by Warner Bros. And this concludes this episode. I would say an interesting and magical one. If you're interested in this type of format, if you want me to tell you more about England, and not only England, about Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland, or whatever you want, write a comment. Tell us what you're interested in and we'll be making new videos for you. And of course, me and the company are on all social networks. Just search SMAPSE. And you can directly contact us there. You can ask any questions you have, and we can collaborate in whatever way we'll find interesting. And don't forget, our company works in international education. We help kids and students to get into schools they dream about, such as Hogwarts, or at least the closest possible option, a place that will become magical for them as a student. And that is it for today. Bye.